From mysterious disappearances to electromagnetic anomalies at ancient strongholds, medieval knights may have discovered something extraordinary. Let's explore the fascinating evidence, historical records, and scientific analysis behind claims of secret portals in medieval Europe. Let's dive into some fascinating medieval records that have left historians scratching their heads. In the Chronicles of St. Albans Abbey, written in 1290, there's a strange account of 3 knights who vanished while exploring a hidden chamber beneath the monastery. The manuscript describes a shimmering doorway of light that appeared before them. Similar stories pop up in other medieval texts, from the Chronicles of Canterbury to Spanish monastery records. These accounts often share common elements: mysterious archways, unexplained lights, and people who seem to step into thin air and disappear. While we need to take these stories with a grain of salt, it's interesting that so many detailed accounts exist across different locations and time periods. The monks who wrote these chronicles were actually the historians of their time, known for careful record-keeping and attention to detail. The Knights Templar left behind fascinating maps that continue to puzzle researchers today. These maps contain unusual symbols and markings that don't match typical medieval cartography. Some scholars have found that certain symbols keep appearing at locations where strange disappearances were recorded. The maps show detailed drawings of doorways and arches marked with unique geometric patterns. What's really interesting is that these symbols match ancient descriptions of doorways to other worlds found in texts from different cultures. The Templars were known for their detailed record-keeping and advanced knowledge of architecture and mathematics. They had access to ancient texts from their time in Jerusalem and may have discovered something they kept secret. While we should be careful about jumping to conclusions, the matching symbols at sites of reported disappearances definitely raise some eyebrows. Let's look at how medieval builders may have designed castles with more than just defense in mind. Many castles share some odd features: specially designed rooms with perfect geometric shapes, halls built to create specific acoustic effects, and chambers positioned to align with astronomical events. Take Glastonbury Abbey, where architects used sacred geometry to create spaces with unusual properties. The builders placed certain doorways at spots where magnetic readings go haywire even today. At places like Chartres Castle in France, they built spiral staircases that follow the exact pattern of the golden ratio, leading to chambers where witnesses reported strange phenomena. Even the stones themselves were chosen carefully. Many came from quarries known for unusual magnetic properties. While medieval builders were definitely skilled architects, these design choices go beyond normal construction practices of the time. Let's look at what the Vatican's secret archives reveal about medieval portals. Deep in the Vatican's collection, researchers have found letters between bishops discussing knights who encountered strange doorways. One document from 1256 describes a Templar knight reporting a gateway of light in a monastery basement. The church took these reports seriously. They sent investigators and kept detailed records. Some documents show sketches of these portals alongside Latin notes about their properties. What's really interesting is how the church responded. They didn't dismiss these reports as nonsense. Instead, they created special teams to study these sites. The Vatican even has maps marking locations where these phenomena occurred. While some of these documents remain classified, the ones we can access paint a picture of church officials genuinely trying to understand these mysterious portals. Modern scientific equipment has revealed some puzzling findings at these medieval sites. Researchers using magnetometers have detected unusual electromagnetic fields at many locations, where knights reported strange doorways. At Glastonbury Abbey, scientists found concentrated magnetic anomalies exactly where ancient texts described a portal appearing. Similar readings turned up at Templar sites across Europe. What's especially interesting is that these magnetic patterns don't match normal geological causes. Some sites show energy patterns that form perfect geometric shapes, something that doesn't happen naturally. Teams have also measured unexplained temperature fluctuations and electromagnetic pulses at these locations. While these findings don't prove the existence of portals, they show that something unusual is happening at these historic sites. The question is, Did medieval knights stumble upon natural phenomena we still don't fully understand? Medieval knights weren't just carrying ordinary swords. Some of their weapons had unique features that still puzzle experts today. Take the sword of Charlemagne, which has strange geometric patterns embedded in its hilt that match symbols found in those Templar portal maps. Many knight swords had unusual crystals or magnetic stones worked into their handles, and surprisingly, detailed records exist about how these materials were chosen. The fascinating part is that these weren't just decorative. Chronicles describe knights using their swords in specific ways at locations where portals supposedly appeared. Some swords even had built-in compasses and astronomical markers that seem more suited for navigation or measurement than fighting. When scientists tested surviving medieval swords, they found some were made with unusually pure metals that could affect magnetic fields. The stories from common people of the Middle Ages give us a different view of these mysterious events. Peasants, servants, and townspeople left behind surprising accounts of knights doing impossible things. Many saw knights walk through solid walls in castle courtyards or disappear into strange glowing doorways in monastery halls. What makes these stories interesting is how similar they are. People from different countries who never met each other described the same things. A farmer in France told of a knight riding through a shimmering arch and vanishing. Months later, a miller in England wrote about 3 knights stepping into a glowing doorway in an abbey wall. These weren't fancy stories meant to impress anyone. They were simple descriptions written in everyday language by regular people who seemed honestly confused by what they saw. Here's where things get really interesting. Many of these reported portal sites line up perfectly with ancient ley lines, those mysterious energy paths that crisscross Europe. When researchers mapped out where knights reported finding portals, they noticed these locations sat right at points where multiple ley lines meet. Take Mont Saint-Michel in France. It sits where 3 major ley lines cross, and medieval texts mention several knights encountering strange doorways there. The same pattern appears at places like Glastonbury Tor and Rennes-le-Château. Ancient cultures believed these crossing points held special power, and they often built sacred sites there. Knights may have used maps marking these energy lines to find potential portal locations. Modern studies have found that these intersection points show higher magnetic readings and unexplained energy patterns. Recent archaeological digs at medieval sites have turned up some fascinating discoveries that add weight to the portal stories. At several castle ruins, researchers found unusual metal objects with complex geometric patterns that don't match typical medieval craftsmanship. Ground-penetrating radar revealed hidden chambers at exact spots mentioned in old portal accounts. In the foundations of one Templar castle, archaeologists discovered a room with walls containing rare magnetic minerals arranged in precise patterns. They also found strange devices that seemed designed for measuring magnetic fields. Pretty advanced technology for the Middle Ages. What's really interesting is that these discoveries match details from those old chronicles we talked about earlier. While this doesn't prove knights were opening portals, it shows they were definitely up to something unusual with advanced scientific understanding. Let's look at what modern science tells us about these medieval mysteries. Some physicists suggest that the magnetic anomalies at castle sites could create weak spots in space-time, similar to Einstein's theoretical wormholes. They point to the unusual electromagnetic readings that match descriptions in medieval texts. Other scientists focus on the precise geometric patterns in Templar architecture, noting how they could potentially amplify natural magnetic fields. The crystalline structures in knights' swords could have interacted with these fields in interesting ways. However, skeptics argue these phenomena have simpler explanations, like natural geological features or atmospheric effects. What's particularly compelling is how medieval builders seem to understand concepts we're only now rediscovering about geometry and electromagnetic fields. Thanks for joining us on this fascinating journey through medieval mysteries. There's still so much to uncover about these ancient portal stories. If you enjoyed this exploration, hit like, subscribe, and share to help others discover these incredible historical mysteries.